Bronwyn Bishop, I am very, very attentive to the importance of the Commonwealth, a third of the world's population. And Daisy's right that we should talk about how the Commonwealth works. A lot of Commonwealth nations turn to the authority of Her Majesty, turn to the authority of what happens out of London, and whether some in Australia have a cultural cringe about it or not, that's their problem, because I reckon there's a lot of stability and a lot of common sense and I've got a lot of good stewardship and example that's come.
Well, Gary, in your words of your editorial, you said she's been there as a constant. She has been the figure that reassures people. She is there constantly, telling us it's all about service. She is a remarkable woman. And I went through one of my boxes of trinkets and I found this lovely medal of Her Majesty, which was given away in 1953 for her coronation, on the back to school children. And I polished it up and I think, my gosh, what a wonderful woman she is. And when I think about our system here, and I watched all that pageantry today, including that magnificent church service with bishops from all around the Commonwealth, with children participating from around the Commonwealth. That's all our heritage. It's all our heritage that we share with other members of the Commonwealth. And that is a remarkable thing, to enrich our culture and not to be something thrown away. You know, Daisy, I'll disagree with you about the head of state. She's the titular head. Our head of state is the Governor-General. That's where the power lies. That's right. I've been on official visits around the world where the Governor-General is described on official documentation as the head of state. And this nonsense that goes on about people who want to be the Republic without telling us what it means, what sort of Republic, or how it would benefit the people of Australia. It always seems to me, rah, look at me, I'd like to be president. Well, I don't really think anyone wants to have President Fitzsimons with his red bandana. I think we'd much prefer to have the dignity,
that's true,
the intensity and the dedication of Her Majesty and her heirs that will follow her. And that's something that the Australian people will always have a say upon from time to time. But I do find it damn insulting that in this year celebrating her 70th year on the throne, that we have a new Prime Minister who comes in and puts some upstart to be an assistant minister for the Republic. I mean, how crass can you be? Seriously. So I just think there are big issues to be considered, and to be so petty.
Well, look, I guess the timing may be, right, that somewhere along the line that there may have to be some further discussion about it, but I think there's a lot of case for why the current system works well. I mean, James Ashby, you're patched into what's going on around the ridges. There is this enormous regard, isn't there, for the strength of the traditions and the safety, if you like, of what Her Majesty and indeed her heirs and successors are meant to deliver to Australia.
Look, no one can deny the fact that she is a much-loved representative of 54 countries across this globe. And the reality is, look, I've never met the Queen, but those that I do know who have met her only speak very highly of her. I had the luxury or pleasure of meeting Edgar Britt, who was the Australian jockey that raced for the Queen's father, King George. He died in 2017.
Wow.
I met him when he was about 101. He died at 103. And when the father and Edgar departed, there was just this loving gift that was given from the royal family to Edgar, and there are multiple of brooches. And those brooches live on today. I know Edgar's granddaughter very well, and they had them customised into a wedding ring, which was lovely. And Liv is a proud granddaughter of Edgar, but Edgar spoke very highly of the Queen. He spoke very highly of the royal family. They've had a long affiliation with racing, and to think she's been there for 70 years, thrust into this position at the age of 25, and has had her own woes. I sometimes sympathise with her because I think, the trouble she's had with her own family, I think we can all relate to that to some extent. We haven't had a son like Andrew, but I think we've all had mischievous kids. So I take my hat off to her, and she looked lovely today, despite the the concerns about her health. She looked great in that lilac outfit, and
She did.
all the best wishes to her.
Can I just say, Gary, that I've had the pleasure of meeting Her Majesty on 3 occasions, and to have a conversation with her is just wonderful. She's genuinely interested.
Yeah.
It's not just a passing, she's interested. And like you, James,
Well,
I also knew Edgar Britt. Quite a remarkable man.
Good. He was a lovely fellow. Yeah, he was.